Hi, I'm Philip Brady. I'm a leadership and executive coach, and I've been invited by your gym to run through a couple of quick, simple tips around kind of mindset things. And one of the first ones is on sleep. Sleep, why is it important? Matthew Walker, one of the leading experts globally on sleep, had this to say: it's the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health each day. And so it's fundamental and foundational to how you show up every day. And so what I wanted to offer you is some of the tips from Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep, but also some other things that I've picked up along the way. So the first one, again, simple things that you can do. In the morning, get as much overhead light into your eyes as much as possible. If you take vitamin D3, it increases the depth of your sleep. So it's more restorative, more re-energizing. Don't, when again, first thing, don't hit snooze. And the other thing is, because your adenosine system hasn't kicked in straight away when you wake up, having coffee won't actually help. It'll actually just remove the kind of natural waking up process. So wait 90 minutes to have your first coffee or tea, and instead have something like rock salt or electrolytes in your water. And that's going to make a massive difference into the crash that we normally get around 2:30 or 3 later on in the afternoon. And I've made that change, and it's made a massive difference to me. So there are a couple of tips in the morning. In the evening, as much as possible, again, these are invitations, so just test these out. Reduce screens 2 hours before bed, as little as possible. You could wear blue light glasses if you want. They block some of that light that tells your body to stay awake, and it helps it kind of fall asleep a little bit more often. As dark a room as possible. Typically, there might be little lights or something like that. So you can cover them off. Keep your room as dark as you possibly can. And I'm deliberately saying reduce alcohol before bed, but I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute. Another one that's really helpful is just to bookend your working day. If you don't tell your mind or body, this is the time that we work, and after that, we're off. If you don't do that, your mind will just stay constantly awake, increasing anxiety, and that's going to not make it as easy to sleep in the evenings when you're trying to shut down and shut off. And so have some kind of cutoff as much as possible with some space between work and going to sleep. And that will make a massive difference. Again, you're telling your body, we're in this rough routine. Whatever that time is, you can decide what that cutoff looks like, and we do not work after that point. And then your body can get into the ritual. It can just expect to recover and to kind of get used to the kind of falling asleep cycle. The next is timing your cardio. If you have cardio, I've noticed this for myself, and again, it's an invitation from Matthew Walker's book. If you time cardio too close to bed, it'll actually excite your system too much that you won't be able to fall asleep very easily. Cardio sometimes is better in the mornings, but notice this for yourself. Experiment with different times. My suggestion would be do not do it within maybe 3 or 4 hours of bed. Test it, but that's what seems to happen for me. The other thing around caffeine and nicotine. So caffeine, for example, I don't have coffee after 1 p.m. in the day because the half-life, so how much of it breaks down, is roughly 6 to 9 hours. So there's still half of a coffee in my system 6 to 9 hours after I drink it. I'm quite sensitive to coffee. You might be less sensitive. I know people that can drink coffee falling asleep. Test it for yourself. But timing of caffeine and nicotine is really important, again, for the depth and quality of the sleep and how recharged or re-energized and restorative your sleep is. I'm deliberately here saying less alcohol. I track my recovery and my sleep quality on an Oura Ring. You can do this on a Whoop band or an Apple Watch. And I've noticed roughly 30 to 40% less recovery when I drink alcohol. And that wasn't many units. So my invitation is just pay attention to when you have alcohol and know that it will affect your sleep. Less alcohol, not necessarily none. If you enjoy a drink, that's okay. But I'm just saying less. The other thing as well at nighttime is if you have a meal too close to bed, your body's digesting while also trying to recover and rest. So these two don't go together. It will decrease the quality of your sleep and it will make it less restorative. So just be careful at nighttime what you're eating. Eat as light as possible at nighttime. Falling asleep or kind of that wind down routine. Maybe you've done the bookend of your working day and you're getting ready to wind down. Baths are best because you've experienced a really hot temperature. The body cools, and that's a really good state to be in when you're trying to fall asleep. As much as possible, the invitation is do not have devices inside your bedroom. leave them outside, buy an alarm clock. It'll make a massive difference to the depth and quality of your sleep. And the fact that there's no blue light in the room will mean that it's darker, you've more like less sensitivity to that light before you're falling asleep, and it's going to make a massive difference. The next is, if you can't fall asleep within maybe 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes, get up out of bed, go for a little walk. Your bed should be a time when you should fall asleep within maybe even less than 15 minutes. So if you're not falling asleep, you don't want to link the bed to the anxiety of not being able to fall asleep. And so just pay attention to that. That's quite important. So the invitation with each of these videos is that this is tactical and relevant with some tips that you can use. So with 15 minutes a day is 1% of your day. What will you do from watching this video? What habits might you need to implement around your sleep so that you can improve? Because again, it's fundamental to everything in the rest of your life. How you show up for yourself, how you show up for the people, and to get the recovery from working out, from spending the time exercising and getting the energy back from that, sleep is fundamental to that. My name is Philip Brady. I appreciate you watching this video. My business is Vitamin P Coaching. I'll see you in the next video.